folder. In JSON API folder, we have to open the CMD, and in CMD, we need to write this one. JSON-server --watch data.json --port 1234. Okay, start the JSON server. JSON-server, in the JSON server folder, JSON API folder, we have to write JSON-server --watch data.json --port space 1234. I hope JSON server started. Then you need to start your React server. npm start, both should be running. The data.json file we have created that day. In that, I think we have not written anything, or we have written anything. Let me see once. We have written here 2 users. Product and books was empty. We have made anything. API, this is coming from the external server. API 2 was coming from the comment list. Yes. This is the hook 3, that was the different data. Hook 4 was a different data. Hook 5, this is the based on properties. Okay, so next this is the local data only. This is also product is local data. Home have something else, right? So we have learned how to fetch the data from the backend. Now we need to, JSON server is ready. There we will be learning how to post the data, how to delete the data, how to edit the data, how to list the data. You will get idea on posting part. JSON server, how you started? You need to go to the JSON API folder that we have created. JSON API folder, open the CMD. After opening the CMD, in that you will be writing JSON server --watch Okay, ready. Now we need to create a component called, okay, let us see here what we have. Name is education mobile. Here in hook 4 we have created name is education mobile. Exactly, it's correct. So we'll create a hook 5, or what is the name? Let's check once. Till hook 8 you have reached. Hook 8 you have reached, and then API where we have written. The API we have written.
Hook 7 and 8 is the API.
Hook 7 and 8 is the API. Yeah, correct. Okay, so we'll create a next file, hook 9. Under the hook 9, we will be reading the data from JSON server. We will write the data to JSON server, like saving, listing, editing, deleting. Those 4 works. Okay, so let's go hook 9 dot js. Hook 9.js is ready. In hook 9.js, look at the JSON server. What you have? You have name, age, edu, and mobile. 4 field we have name, age, edu, and mobile. If you look into the hook 4.js file, here also we have name, mobile, age, and education. This is also based on functional component, right? So we are going to take the copy of hook 4 file so that we will avoid rewriting this form design. We will avoid the rewriting of table. Just data will be as usual. Instead of storing in array, it will be posted to the backend. So quickly you can okay, take the copy of which file? Hook 4. Hook 4, hope it's available with everyone. Hook 4. Hook 4 file was a listing of data, deleting of data. It was array based. Take the copy of hook 4 and place under the hook 9. Hook 9. Okay. Hook 9. We have taken the copy of hook 4. In that first priority, no need to call the user details, delete that. User details we have called that day as a props, you can delete that. Delete that. Now below also we have used somewhere as a props after table map function we have used. We have created a row and inside we have used user details and we have sent the parameter as props. You can remove that section. You can remove that section. Okay, hope we have deleted the section. Now we got only table. Only table. Table let it be as usual. Don't modify the table. Left side the data is coming, that also don't modify. Form let it be same. First change the class name, function name. Hook 4 we have written, my hook 4 we have written. We can write this as a JSON API, JSON API. J you can keep capital, SON and API. Change the class name JSON API. Change the class name as a JSON API. Okay, JSON API. Come down below. Change the function name as well, JSON API. JSON API, JSON API. Change both the places. Okay, already JSON API, JSON API, both the places. Next, what else we need to do? We have to call this component under the app.js and we'll check whether this component is calling or not. The component is calling or not. Come to the app.js file. In app.js file, import the JSON API from hook 9. JSON API from hook 9. JSON API from hook 9. After that, we'll go down and we'll add here. After props, we'll add one more link. We can write API 3 and we can write here call API 3 JSON API. Then we can add here as the API 3 path. API 3. Under that, we can load here JSON API. JSON API. Check now API 3 page is loading or not. Hope API 3 is loading, JSON API. Data remains same because the page is same only. In that, this data will go to the JSON server and this data will come from JSON server. Delete will happen from JSON server. So let's confirm till here. It's okay, done. Then we can move next. Okay, I have closed the page by mistake. Second. We'll open the VS Code in this again. Two VS Code is open. Okay, so let's show you again the API, what we call JSON API, we call from the hook 9. We added a link here. In the link, I have given as a API 3. Next, after that, we added one link here, one condition under the root API 3, then JSON API. It's loading or not?
And in book.9js file, we have kept the temp array. Na?
Book 9.js file is from the book 4.
Yeah, and the temp array is there. Means of what we are using.
We will be removing as of now. First, check the page is loaded or not.
Page is loaded.
If the page is loading, then there will not be temp array. This data will come from that JSON server where we have stored some temporary data, and this data also will get posted to the JSON server only. Okay, now we'll come to the temp array we don't require. We can remove that, and we can remove here, and we can give only as a square bracket as an empty array. Square bracket as an empty array. Square bracket is an empty array. Okay, so now array will not come here, it will be empty. We have to write a function. We have to write a function. That function will bring the data from the JSON server. Correct. So hope you are ready till here. Then you can write a function in the top. We can import first. Import that library we have installed in this or not. Don't know. Axios we have imported installed in this. I guess we have not installed. Or we have installed.
No, we have not installed Axios.
We have not installed Axios. So we can go to the terminal, and from the terminal we can go to the new terminal. Terminal and new terminal. In terminal we can write here npm install AXIOS, npm install AXIOS. Okay, hope installation is going on. Hope installation is ready, Axios. Come up next. We have to import now. Import AXIOS from AXIOS. Okay, let us check now how it is happening. Axios we have imported. After importing the Axios, save function is happening here. We have created one update user. This one, if you see, user list function we have. Just below the user list, we need to add one heading. Below the user list, we need to add one heading. Not a heading, one function we need to add. That function will bring the data from the JSON server. Go here. After this, the first constant what we have created user list, write a next constant call get user equal to, will come down inside and will follow axios.get. Inside that you can write here http://localhost:1234/ what is that JSON API. You have to verify once. It is saying called user here, localhost:1234/user. So we have to write here /user. After that we can write dot then response. Then this response you have to send to the function called update user. Once you send to the update user, we have to write here response.data. response.data. It is the fixed data. The response is the variable, can be anything, but data is the fixed object. What will come in that? It will bring the content of your JSON file. It will bring the content of your JSON file. Data variable will hold the content of your JSON file from the user array with user API, whichever is coming. Now we have to call the use effect here. So for that use effect, you need to import on the top. Use effect, we need to import on the top. Based on use effect only, we are going to call the get user. Once the use effect will call automatically, along with that, we will ask the get user to call this way. Use effect we have seen in the other example also. Now we will call here use effect, so that use effect will call the function automatically. Use effect, use effect, use effect. Under the use effect, under the use effect function, we can call the get user function. Get user function, and here we have to use a square bracket and 1, so that get user function will call only one time. So that get user function will call only one time. Else get user will start calling many times. Get user will call only one time, else the get user will call many times. Okay, hope ready. Now come down, save the file and check once list is happening or not. Once the page will load, the list is happening or not. Name mobile is education. Refresh the page and check once the page is loading or not. Are we getting some data? Two users supposed to come. Two user will come from the JSON API. Two user will come from the JSON API once the page will load. If four was not exist with someone, they should ask. I may give you the file also. The save file was working already. No, we have added only this function. We have deleted some portion, or that become difficult. Reason is if we write everything from beginning to last, today will take to design itself. One day time it will take only design. So already design was there, function was written already. List we need to do and delete we need to do. Just we need to change the URL. The data instead of storing into the JSON, it will be sent to the backend. Okay, next after that, if data is saving, data is listing, next work will be when we enter the value here, click on save button. This data should go to the JSON server and it should list here again. JSON server is nothing but don't think like it's a temporary work for you. It is the actual solution. Once you work somewhere, instead of this local URL, it will be as a server URL. Okay, where the live data will come. Okay, so let's go ahead. Next, after that, we have to post the data. We have to post the data. So for posting the data, You can see already array is created here. Message is happening, text box is getting clear. Instead of passing to the array, we will delete this line. Instead of calling update user at this place, we will call the API, JSON API, and we will post this new user to the backend. That's all. Data will be saved under the database, the JSON file. Okay, so let's come. We will implement those part. Now we can go ahead and at this place, whichever this line is written, delete this line, update user and all, and let's call a URL here to post the data to backend. So at this place, we can use the same URL, because if you are fetching from this URL, posting also you have to do the same URL. Data post also should go to the same URL. Data posting also should happen to the same URL. Right, so we can go here at this place. We can keep a variable URL equal to this URL, and in that URL equal to this URL, and in that we can write axios.post. Post URL will be there, and here will be called the new user. New user dot then response. This response is not going to be any much meaningful. So this 3-4 line you will cut from here, or maybe this the closing part. Instead of doing here, we can do in the last. So this will become a posting part, because already we have picked the value from the text box. Already variables are ready, functions are ready. Only we need to post this much. New user is posted here now. New user. Axios.post URL new user. Correct. Now save this. After that, once the data will get posted to the backend, this all clean and all is happening, no problem at all. We need to call once get URL, get user function to reload the list, because data will go to the backend, that is okay. Message will print, that is also fine. Text box will get clear, that is also well. But at last, we have to reload the list again. Then we'll come to know, yes, my data is saved successfully. This is for what purpose? To reload the list after adding new record. After adding the new records. After adding the new records, we are listing the page again. Hope ready. Let's write it. I will share this complete function. Save function was written earlier. The content of save function I will share you in the chat. Or this much only we have written, no? This much we have written, right? Even not the first line, the remaining content. Or if you want to take entire function, no problem at all. 1 minute. Try writing. Hello. Okay, so hope you have written. Let us check now data is posting or not. Shall I share the complete function? Share the complete function. Software industry, software development, okay. Such a progressive field in the market. Okay. Huge career growth on infinite. We can't expect it all. Matter is of knowledge. Okay. Lifestyle will change within a month, within a week itself. Okay. The person, suppose person was getting 15,000, 30,000 is a salary. Suddenly he will change the job from 30,000 per month. He will reach to the 80,000 per month, 1 lakh per month, 70,000 per month. What will happen? Such a huge change, That is their advantage. Disadvantage is little effort with the extra patience. Okay. Disadvantage is little effort, and that also effort is not like we need to go to the field and we need to do such a huge hard work. It is a smart work only, but with little, you can say, something. Okay. So why some people reduce their interest? I don't understand. Okay, let's go ahead. Check now. You are able to save the data or not. Okay, so I'll write here call Ajit, mobile number, age, education. See, Ajit added 40 years, mobile number, everything. Raju, 22 years. Vikram is getting added here. Data is coming properly. This is we are printing as a serial number. No problem, let it be. We can use as a ID here. User.id we can print. So saving and listing for how many people?
Sir, hello.
Yeah, hello.
Sir, once we click on save user, the button is clicked only, it is not getting out hover active. It is active only.
That is CSS, not CSS. That is the bootstrap. If you remove the bootstrap, that will not look. That is not part of React.
Before it was once we click on the save user, the button was active on the time itself. Later on, it will be normal only.
पता
So
नहीं
now
हमको कैसे हो रहा है, हम भी सोच रहे हैं कि ऐसे कैसे हो रहा है। यहाँ पे क्लिक किए तो ऐसे रह रहा है, ऐसे कैसे रह रहा है, कोई आइडिया नहीं।
Mhm.
ठीक है, चलिए लेट्स गो अहेड। We can delete the record now. We can write a function. आप चेक करो इंटरनेट पे, ओके? If you find any solution for that, you can let me know. I will also learn. Check on internet, YouTube, everywhere. If you find any solution tomorrow, please let us know in the class itself. I will also try to learn that. So already we have a function here called delete user. In that we are passing the I index. We can pass here called ID. And instead of doing here this, we can call the URL. In that URL, we can append here plus ID plus ID. Now right there plus ID you have to append. There should be slash in the last. And now after that, we have to write here axios.delete, axios.delete, pass here the URL dot then equal response. You can call this function here. And then you can call the get user again. After deleting the record, it should reload the list. To reload the list after deleting record. After deleting record. Next to that, come down below, delete user function already we are calling. In that, on click you are sending the index. You have to send the ID that is coming from the JSON server. You have to send the ID that comes from the JSON server. User slash plus ID you have to do. User slash plus ID. Come down below, and in click we are sending index. In delete button we are sending as an index. We have to send user info.id. User info.id. Then try it's happening or not. User info.id. Then try deleting. Hello. Next, left. इनको क्या बस कर रहा है? Okay, so now you should be able to delete the record. Come down. Let us see now. I'll delete the Ajit. It will say Ajit deleted. I will delete the Alex. It will say Alex deleted. Last one also I'll delete. This index remains same always. You can print here instead of index. You can print user info dot id. User info dot id. You can say it should get deleted. User info. So in that you are able to save the data. You are able to list the data. We are able to delete the data. One more topic will be there, that is called editing, how to edit the data. So for that we will go through the use params. Use params, don't know still we have seen or not. Use params we have not seen anywhere. Yeah, we have not seen anywhere use params. So first we'll tomorrow implement the use params. What is the use params, how that work, and then we'll come to the edit part here. Because while editing we required another hooks function that is called use params. And using the use params, like suppose if you want to edit the user number 4, you have to pass the details id of user number 4 from one page to other page via browser URL, and that come under the use params, use parameter usually through browser. Like suppose API 3/1, API 3/1. So what will happen now? It will display those user whose ID is 1. API 3/4, it will display those user whose ID is 4. So to capture that ID, we will be using a function from the React functional component. That function name is called use params. Okay, and based on that we can implement. Because you got the solution after button click, button is pressed itself. You got any solution?
No, sir.
फाइंड कीजिए, फाइंड करके थोड़ा हमको भी कल बताइएगा. देखिए मैं पढ़ाने में मैं चीटिंग नहीं करता हूँ किसी से, ठीक है. जो एक नंबर को जो जरूरी होता है ना, वो चीज हर चीज हम बता देते हैं जो हमने 11 साल में इम्प्लीमेंट किया है मार्केट में, ठीक है. लेकिन कुछ ऐसा क्वेश्चन आता है जिसका आंसर नहीं होता है मेरे पास. जैसे मान लो कि ये बटन में हमने क्लिक किया, बटन पे क्लिक किया, तो आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इज टू क्लिक ऑन द बटन. Next, what will happen? On button, we can write the event. We can disable the button. We can hide the button. We can change the color of button. Correct. Now, suppose when we click here and button look like pressed. So here, what you can see, it is not button look like it's pressed. On focus, on focus, on focus. When you click on the button, that is called on focus. On focus. What happened from the CSS, from the bootstrap? One CSS got applied, that is called border or maybe border radius or maybe box shadow. Okay, वो आपको भी पता है CSS में कैसे हो रहा है वो, फिर भी आप पूछ रहे हो वही चीज.
नहीं, पहले नहीं हो रहा था सर, इसलिए.
CSS में हमने बताया था कि नहीं आपको ऑन फोकस क्या होता है, ऑन ब्लर क्या होता है. जावास्क्रिप्ट में बताया था ऑन फोकस नहीं. CSS में बताया था कोलन होवर मींस once your mouse will go somewhere, hover effect will fire. Now on hover some CSS is applied. So here it is not hover, in focus. Suppose देखो आप, मैं टेक्स्ट बॉक्स में क्लिक किया, the similar border got applied. See here, when I click on button, some border got applied, some sky blue color. Now same thing if I click on text box, some kind of shadow got applied here. That is called shadow, box shadow. That happened when on focus. On focus means when your cursor went there. That is not coming from the React, that is not coming from the JavaScript, it is coming from the bootstrap side. That is event is called on focus. When your cursor will go there, some CSS got applied. उसको नहीं अप्लाई करना है तो जाके एक लाइन लिख दीजिए, ऑन फोकस, बॉक्स शैडो नन, बॉर्डर नन, ओके, टेक्स्ट डेकोरेशन नन. Okay, you can write as a one more property is called that is called something. 3-4 properties are there using that this border will get applied. Keep everything, nothing will happen on that. Outline, that is called as outline. When you click here, this is coming, is called as outline. If you write outline none, then this will not come. In case through outline is not happening, you can write as a colon focus and border as a none, box shadow as a none. This effect will not come. Same thing is happening for button also. जरूरी वाला चीज पे फोकस कीजिए, हेल्पफुल होगा आपके लिए। ठीक है, चलिए। सो होप योर डेटा इज सेविंग, लिस्टिंग एंड डिलीटिंग. Now edit functionality, I'll guide you there. We will be covering the use effect, and after that what will be next, we will plan for the next level. Okay, so if you have time, you can try one example. I will give you 2 photo. I will show the photo. If time is there, you can try this 2 photo. That here what we are doing as of now, after saving data we are listing here only, but the photo I will give you, in that you will save the data in one page and listing will happen in another page. Okay, when you save the data, send to JSON server. When you want to list the data, page from JSON. Data pages are 2 pages, both are not in the same page. So if you have time, you can implement it. Let me save the photo. Assignment folder, where are you? Assignment. I deleted assignment folder. Let's see here. In assignment folder, I will share you the Bootstrap basic assignment. There will be 2 photos. Yeah, see here. This is one page here that is saying like, okay, you can see the page here, project name, contact name, email ID and address. Project name, email ID and address. Look at the JSON server. In the JSON server already you have here one product and book. You can create one more here called project 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 project. Okay, you can create one more called project. So now project, whichever the data you have. So in project, so in JSON server file we added one more object called project. Next what you will see is, you will see here like in the photo is showing like project name, contact number, email ID and project address and save button. It is a separate file. Once you fill the data in that, it will come and store in the JSON file, this project JSON project array it will store. Okay, now next photo is something like this. Next photo is something like this. Here when I go next, you can see list is happening here. Search bar you can ignore, leave the search bar. Project name, contact number, email ID, project address. There is a delete button, there is a edit button. Edit you can leave as of now. Delete you have learned, so till delete you can apply. Once you click on delete, it should send a request in the JSON server how you are doing. It should delete from there. We have done everything in one file. Now same thing you have to do, but the file will be different. Hook 11 and hook 12. Hook 11 save the project, hook 12 list the project. Okay, this is the photo. You can take the photo and try it. It will be one small homework for you. Okay, hope taken the photo. Now go to the next. This is the listing page. Take the photo of this as well. Hope taken the photo. So try that both the examples. Saving the data, listing the even saving part we have not done yesterday. We have done yesterday how to list